1587. To forge an empire, John White had to come up with a blueprint for a self-sustaining. Logistics were the silent architects of survival. Before they could set off, every crate was weighed against destiny. The crown demanded absolute precision. Officials had to look for even the slightest flaw in their provisions. The crossing turned out to be a brutal trial. For 90 days, the ocean tested their structural integrity. Navigators were constantly looking for Roanoke, a strategic sliver of land, hidden behind the Outer Banks. As the iron bit into the seabed, White began to find out the tactical challenges of this unfamiliar shore. Defense was the first priority. They had to come up with a fortification capable of defying the unknown. Here, history would find out if English roots could truly take hold in the wild soil of the Americas. But the environment turned out to be a hostile witness as a historic drought began to suffocate the colony. Rations were vanishing rapidly. White had to look for an immediate logistical lifeline from across the sea. He was forced to set off once more, leaving 115 souls to guard a fortress of dwindling hope. As war with Spain erupted, he would soon find out that the Atlantic had become a closed gate. The Queen's decree was absolute. No matter what desperate plan he could come up with, White was grounded. For 3 agonizing years, he could only look for updates on the horizon. The colony was orphaned. Silence turned out to be the most terrifying report of all. The supply chain was officially broken. 1590. The blockade finally lifted. White managed to set off on a mission born of sheer desperation. He arrived to find a ghost land. No matter where they would look for life, the silence remained unbroken. He would soon find out that the colony hadn't been razed. It had been meticulously and calmly dismantled. He came across a solitary signpost, a single carved word that defied the total absence of his people. They were looking for the cross, the signal of distress, but the weathered bark was clean. He found out that his archives were protected, buried safely by those who fully intended to return. A violent storm forced them to set off. The sailors refused to linger in the graveyard of an empire. White departed, never to find out the ultimate fate of his daughter and his grandchild. He would come up with countless prayers, but the forest kept its secrets for over 3 centuries. Roanoke turned out to be a riddle that geography alone could not solve for the next 300 years. Now, modern science allows us to look for shadows in the soil that history had previously missed. Recently, archaeologists came across artifacts on Hatteras that tell a profound story of cultural fusion.
The metal analysis is clear. Sarah, what do we find out from these specific fragments?
These items come from 16th century London. Alex, the data suggests they don't lose them to looters, they use and keep them for daily survival.
The match is perfect. Modern imaging comes up with this secret fort, 50 miles inland.
This map proves they planned their relocation with great care. The biological evidence is next. Alex, we look for European DNA markers in the local population.
The mystery finally turned out to have a genetic answer.
The colonists survived by simply becoming American. As new theories come up, we realize the lost colony was never truly lost to the earth. They didn't perish. It turned out they simply moved toward the resources they required to survive. To find out the truth about Roanoke is to understand the raw power of human adaptation. History is alive, and we only need to know where to look for its pulse. New evidence continues to come up, because here, the story is never truly over.